Well, college tuition costs can cause anxiety for many parents, especially those with more than one child. While the savings process can seem a bit overwhelming, but experts say the earlier you start, the better. And the state has some programs to help get you started. Here to tell us more is Lauren Shipley from the College Savings Plan of Maryland. And welcome here.
Thank you.
Well, first off, tell us a little bit about this plan, how it works.
Sure, absolutely. So we're the independent agency that administers the two 529 state college savings plans. We offer two different 529 plans, which are both tax deferred. The prepaid college trust allows family to lock in tuition at today's prices for future benefit. And then the college investment plan is a savings plan similar to what we're familiar with, like a 401k plan, where you put the dollar amount that fits your budget in, choose an investment option, and the money grows according to your investment choice.
So what's the benefits of enrolling?
These plans are tax deferred. So they grow tax deferred, so the money doesn't get taxed as long as it's used for educational expenses. And those educational expenses can be used across the country at any federally accredited school. So it's not just limited to being in Maryland. And ideally, these plans help families reduce the need to take student loan debt, which is becoming a very big problem for students who graduate.
And I think you just got in a little bit to my next question, which is there's often a lot of thought that you have to stay in state, so you don't, and you don't need to go to a specific school?
No, that's a very big misconception that people hear Maryland in the name and automatically assume that the plans are only good for use within Maryland. There certainly is an advantage with the prepaid that we're going to pay in-state tuition and mandatory fees at a Maryland state school, no matter how much the cost has gone up since you purchased, but it can be used at an out-of-state or private school. And same with the college investment plan, again, can be used around the country as long as it's used at a federally accredited school.
And is it the same amount, or does that differ?
In-state, we're going to pay the full in-state tuition. If they go out of state, what we're going to do is look at all the students in the University of Maryland system at that time, take an average of their tuition, let families use that at the out-of-state or private schools. So we have no way of predicting what's going to happen at those out-of-state or private schools, but we do give families an equivalent Maryland benefit so that at least they're not losing out on that. Just those private or out-of-state schools are often more expensive.
All right. Well, tell us, you recently had an event to tell people about this. How did that go?
We did. We had a tour here in Prince George's County. We do this time of year as we get closer to the end of the enrollment period for the prepaid college trust. We try to come in person to talk to families, and we had success with talking to a number of different families about information. You know, nowadays with the internet, many people get their information online. We do offer webinars as well, but it's great to get out in front of people too.
What was the biggest question you were hearing during this turnout at your event?
Most of the time people, because it's 18 years in the future in terms of, you know, saving for college, they're worried if their child doesn't go to school or what happens if they wind up getting a scholarship grant or tuition remission. These are voluntary savings plans, but they also are tax deferred plans. So just like our retirement, if we take it out early and don't use it for the intended purpose, the IRS says, hey, you're going to owe us some taxes and some penalties, but these are able to be refunded if needed. So there is that backup for families who
How much should somebody actually save for this kind of thing? Is there an actual average?
No, it's really what's best to fit your budget. And that's what I always tell families. Do what you can afford. The thing to keep in mind is that any amount you save can reduce the amount that you take in student loans. And student loans can really add a burden going forward. So we just say save what you can afford, and that will make a difference.
And that is quite a big issue for many young people these days. So it's important. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like some more information on the state's college savings plans, you can visit Maryland529.com.